I had a message from Eddie in the comments box of one of my previous videos, and he was asking, how do you fold a map into a map case? Now, if you've ever tried to fold a map, even in a gentle breeze, you'll know that it's not easy. But in a moderate to strong wind, you'll know it's almost impossible. And also, if it's raining and your map gets wet, it will probably last for about an hour, before it disintegrates. So there are two main options to stop this happening. The first thing you can do is you can get one of these, which is a laminated map. But I find them a bit cumbersome and quite bulky. Having said that, some people who prefer these, and what they do is they use a large elastic band to hold it in position once it's been folded. But I find these very difficult to fold, and I tend not to use them. My preferred option is simply to use a standard paper map and a map case. So now the answer to Eddie's question, by the way, how do you fold a map into a map case? Eddie, there isn't just one answer. There's lots of ways to fold a map, and lots of people have their own methods. So if you have your own method and it works for you, fine, go for it. That's absolutely perfect. I'll show you how I do it. Now, the first thing you'll need is a large map case. This is 30 centimeters square. These are what I use on all my courses because they're the ideal size. 30 centimeters square is, I think it's 11.5 inches square. Now, the reason that you need to get one this size is that you can fold your map in such a way that it will normally cover your entire route. Having said that, if you're going on a really long hike, you can always stop and refold your map when you stop for a cup of tea. So, as Eddie's question was about Ordnance Survey, OS maps, British Ordnance Survey maps, I'll use one of these, but the way to fold it, it's applicable to all maps from most countries. Now, because I want to be able to give people a grid reference, I need to be able to see the numbers that go across the page and also up the side of the page. But if you don't need to do that, then you can just fold your map along the creases and stick it in a map case, and that'll be fine. But I need to see those numbers. Now, the problem here is that on the map, the numbers are 40 centimeters apart, and my case is only 30 centimeters apart. So it's going to need folding in a certain way. So the first thing to do, and move all this, is find somewhere that we're actually going to go to. So here we go. So let's open the map. That'll do. And I'm going to go, let's just pick a place. I'm going to go to there. So where have I landed on? I've landed on an area called Red Pike. I've never actually been there. It's in between Buttermere and Ennerdale. If you're not from the UK, Buttermere and Ennerdale are two very large lakes in the Lake District in northwest England. So let's carry on from here. Now, the first thing to do is to put your map case onto the map so that your destination, in this case it's Red Pike, is actually in the centre of the map case, which will be there. Okay, now as you can see, I can't see any eastings or northings, the numbers that go across and up the map, inside my map case. So I'm going to have to move the map case to allow for that. If I was going to go from the west, from Ennerdale Water, I could bring the map case across this way, and I can still see these numbers here, and I can still see my destination. I'd move it down slightly so that I can see the numbers that go across the page also. Now, if I was going to approach Red Pike from the Buttermere side, I'd need to move the map case over so I can see this line of numbers that go up the map, and also the same again on this side. So that, if I'm walking from Buttermere to Red Pike, that's how I position it. So let's say we're going to do that. So what we need to do is we need to see the area that is between the 14 and the 21. Okay, the 14 and the 21 eastings. And I also want to see the area between the number 10 and the 17 northings. That is how I'm going to fold my map. Now, some people will disagree with this next section because they like to keep their maps looking as new as possible and put them on a shelf or do whatever. I have hundreds of maps, and to me they're just a tool. So it's this. If you disagree with this, don't do it. What I tend to do, first thing I tend to normally do, is fold out the cardboard cover like that. I'm going to take the cardboard cover off. So all I'm going to do is do this really gently, because you can very easily rip your map if you do it too fast. Just peel back the base of it, put your finger underneath the thing, and then slide it up really slowly, and then take it all the way up and take the cardboard cover off. That's what I do. It just makes folding a map a lot easier without that big lump of cardboard on it. So I've now taken the cardboard off, and we're left with the map. So the first thing I need to do is I need to fold it, don't forget, on the 14 easting and the 21, so that's going to be my vertical. I found that it's a lot easier, just get this out of the way, if you just pinch the number 14 and also the top end of the line, and then just pull them apart, and it'll click like that. Once you've done that, it just makes it a lot easier to put your crease on. So that I need to do that also on the 21 line, so don't forget. Bend it, and then just pinch it and pull it apart until it clicks. There you go. And then we just bring it across like this. And then we've got our first two creases. All we do with the rest of the map is fold it underneath the creases that we've just made. So there's our map. Now, the next bit is just a trick that I found works for me. If you've got a different method, once again, do it for yourself. It's quite difficult to actually fold up all this stuff that you've just, folded in the back of the map. It's difficult to get it neat. Now I need to put a crease on the number 10 line. So what I tend to do is I tend to bring the number 10 down to the edge of the table, and then simply press it and bend it underneath. Put a crease on like that, and that way you're actually creasing all the bits at the same time, and then you can then do that. Next thing, do exactly the same on the number 17 line, which is what we need, and just force it underneath, run your handle on the map slightly, and that way you get a nice neatly folded map, or hopefully you do. And then all we're going to do, now some people prefer to have the north at the top of, by their map closure. Some people prefer to have it at the south at the top. That's totally up to you. All you do, this isn't as you can see, this is why I said don't fold the map over so it's exactly the same size. It does need to have a little bit of play around the edges. It will go in, and there we have a nicely neatly folded map, and you can see the numbers that go up the map, you can see the numbers that go across the map, so you can give a grid references. Eastings and northings, if you don't need them, as I said, just fold the map in. So we're going to go all the way from Buttermere, and we're going to go all the way up to Red Pike, sort of in that general area. So Eddie, I hope that answers your question. How do you fold a map into a map case? Thanks for watching.